What's up, people of YouTube? This is True Warlord here, and today I'm bringing you guys a video talking about Advanced Warfare. Now, I've been wanting to get around to this video, so I'm actually really excited to bring this to you, as a matter of fact. And as I said in my last video, my microphone's better. Hopefully it's still good in this video. If it's not, then you're obviously not going to hear it until it's fixed or something. But anyways, let's move on with the subject. So, if any of you guys who play video games or shooters in particular, or are fans of the competitive Call of Duty scene, MLG, and you don't live under a fucking rock, you know that Advanced Warfare is coming out. And Advanced Warfare is the next installment of the Call of Duty franchise, and this time, unlike in the past, it is made by Sledgehammer Games, which before it was always made by either Treyarch or Infinity Ward, switching off and on. For example, in case you don't know, Call of Duty 4 is made by Infinity Ward, the original Infinity Ward. World at War was made by Treyarch. Modern Warfare 2 was made by Infinity Ward, and so on and so forth, flipping back and forth. And yeah, so that's the way that went for a long time. Sledgehammer Games did help with Infinity Ward on Modern Warfare 3, and now they've been kind of thrown in there as one of the main developers. They've had plenty of time to work on this game, roughly 3 years, maybe a little bit more, and now instead of having 2-year game cycles, as in the release of Infinity Ward games, Treyarch can work on their game from the release of Infinity Ward's game till, basically you're getting 2 years. Instead, you're getting 3, if not more. And so the whole general idea is to make the Call of Duties better, and I think a lot of that is because the fans have been wanting to complain about Call of Duties in the past. And in Advanced Warfare, it is completely different. And it seems like they took a note out of Treyarch's book when it comes to making a Call of Duty. And as you can see on screen, I obviously prefer Treyarch games. After the original Infinity Ward left, which I think was roughly halfway through Modern Warfare 2's life cycle, because of some issues. I'm not going to go through that in this video, but they haven't really been the same. I mean, they've had their ups. No, they haven't had any ups. They've all been downs. But they've had some good things that they did in the game, such as hit detection and ghost was fucking pristine. It was really, really good. And I'm going to discuss the new things in Advanced Warfare that I'm looking forward to and really, really excited about. And there's only one real thing that I want to talk about or two that I'm not real excited about. So let's start this off. Advanced Warfare, competitive Call of Duty. Okay, so the competitive scene is going to be so different. There was talk about possibly going to 5-man teams, which I really don't think will happen, and having more than 3 game modes, which again I don't think will happen, just because it's already hard enough to master 3 game modes, let alone mastering 4 or 5 game modes and getting them, really good. And even now, when Ghost's life cycle is almost over, people still have not mastered Blitz, So, I'm not saying I'm better than them, because trust me, I would get melted instantly by anybody that's a competitive player, like, OpTic or EG or Envy or whatever. But I'm trying to say that it won't be likely. But Capture the Flag is returning. Hardpoint is returning, and of course Search will be there. So, there's 4 game modes that have a really, really high possibility, and also War is returning, but there's 4 game modes that have a really, really high possibility of being in there. Search and Destroy is going to be in there no matter what. And then it's kind of pick and choose between that ball game. I don't know what it's called. I can't think about it right now, but some sort of a ball orb game where you take the ball and you have to get it into somebody else's, like the enemy team's satellite, I think is what it's called. It's kind of like Blitz. That game, Capture the Flag, and a Hardpoint. If you guys played Black Ops 2, you know what Hardpoint is, and Capture the Flag was in every other Call of Duty except for Ghost, because Ghost sucks giant black cock. So basically, I probably think it will be Capture the Flag and Hardpoint back, which is perfectly fine with me, but you have to think about how will you master anchor positions, if those are even a factor in this game with the new boosting abilities. So now that kind of leads into the next subject, and that is equipment being launched from the wrist. I don't know how big of a toll this will take on any part of Call of Duty as far as competitive goes, and so on and so forth, but it's a new concept. I hear that it's weird. It's hard to get used to. Basically what it is instead of throwing your grenades and throwing your stuns, you shoot them from your wrist with a launcher, like you're fucking Iron Man or some shit. And it's nice to see that, like, it's fresh, it's new. So I'm really excited to adjust to the new play styles, and I wonder if you can shoot it farther. Probably not. It just looks like you have more time with your gun in your hand than you do throwing a nade or a stun or whatever. So then next we have energy weapons. So they have a class of weapons where it's kind of like LMGs, but they shoot lasers. And I don't think these are going to be that big of a factor, to be honest. I mean, it seemed like the damage was kind of low in the one that they had at the event where people could play it. It looked like the damage was kind of low. Not a lot of people were using it. You were seeing lots of SMGs and assault rifles, which is typical Call of Duty, and that's what we prefer for the most part. But don't be too down, because I'm sure there will be scrubs using it, and you'll still see it out there. So it's still going to be a factor in Call of Duty. It's going to be new, and yeah. So next, let's talk about kill streaks. In this Call of Duty, you can update your kill streaks and upgrade them, but when you upgrade them, it takes points out of your pick 13 system. And and this is what I'm talking about, how they took right out of Treyarch's book of how to make games. Treyarch in Black Ops 2 had the pick 10 system, and now in Advanced Warfare they're going to have something called the pick 13 system. But on each class that you make, you can have your own customized kill streaks, and you can have up to 4 kill streaks, and you can upgrade those kill streaks. For example, you take the sentry gun. You can upgrade it to a sentry gun that you control. Or actually, I think that's what it is initially. Then you can upgrade it to one that shoots like grenades. Then one that you can rip off the turret and carry around like a minigun. And so yeah, that's pretty cool. But each upgrade means that you have to earn it by getting higher kills in points and so on and so forth. So that's how that works. Now, I already discussed the new game modes. War is returning, but it's called Momentum, which is basically how it is. I don't really know how to explain it other than the fact it is Momentum. You move up on the map based on how much ground you have. It was a really fun game mode. It was back on World at War. Again, taking out of Treyarch's book, something that the fans have wanted. And Sledgehammer really looks like they're listening to the fans, which is amazing. It is great that they're listening to the fans. Next, so we have maps. Traditionally, I liked medium to small size maps, but with Advanced Warfare, the exo abilities, as in jumping super high and boosting and so on and so forth, everybody says like, oh, you got jetpacks now, it's Titanfall and all that. No, it's not. It's really, really not. I doubt it will be like that. I don't want to be one of those Call of Duty junkies who are like, every year the Call of Duty is going to be this is going to be the most amazing COD ever, and it comes out and it's complete dog shit, and you just abandon it. Because Black Ops 2 came out. Hated that fucking game at first. Hated Black Ops 2 when it first came out. Got used to it. Loved it. Okay, loved it. Ghost was coming out. Did not think it was going to meet Black Ops 2 expectations, and sure enough, it didn't. I did think it was a really smooth game when it first came out, but did not meet the expectations. But anyways, maps, they're going to be multi-level, obviously, and so therefore, I think that the maps should be large. But not in flat aerial distance. They need to be height-wise. They need to be large. They need to have multiple stories. Instead of, a couple buildings that have 2 stories, make the whole fucking map a 3-story building almost, but with like an outside around it. Stuff like that. With multiple breaks in the walls and entrances and stuff, and a roof. That would be cool, but the overall area that it's in is small. So you still have plenty of room to play, and it's in confined spaces. That would be what it would be like. Now, next on, we have the exo abilities themselves. So, like, you have Cloak and, like, Shield and Trophy System and, like, Regain Health Faster. Those are all really cool and really nifty and neat. But, again, I don't think they're going to be that big of a factor, especially Cloak and Shield and Trophy System. Competitive play, some of those things will come in handy, but, you get to use it for, like, 5-10 seconds. That's it. It's not going to destroy the game. But you know what I do see being a problem? There's this particular equipment that you can launch into the air, and it's like an IED/hunter killer drone. It finds somebody and blows up in their fucking face, and it's so dumb. I hope they change that, take it out, nerf it, do something. Next up, we have the prestiging in this game. They were discussing 10 to 15 prestiges. I really, really, really hope they go with 15 prestiges, but then again, I'm a hardcore Call of Duty player, so I would rather have 15 prestiges compared to 10. So that's just me. Anyways, guys, last thing we have is customization. There's tons of customization. There's going to be so many different options, and that's just about all I really have to talk about. I hope you enjoyed this video. The customization options are going to be endless. Twitter and Facebook links will be down in the description. I hope you liked it. If you like the content, please subscribe if you're new, and deuces.